Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome back to RCTV. This is already episode 2, and I think I'll have the occasion to do these every other week or so. There will be somebody I want to talk to. In this case, I'm thinking about the end of the Vancouver International Jazz Festival, and the very last show was our guest's band here. He filled Ocean Artworks, just like he filled some other rooms where they sold out the Fox Cabaret and Heroes Welcome and more. This band is a uniting force in the scene, I would say, because it's half CapU and half this guy's school, which is UBC, and that's a new force in our scene that's having some exciting effects with some other shows coming up that we get into as well. So this is a great one. Lock in. Please enjoy. Our guest today is the leader of the Cowboy Bebop Bebop Band, and he just closed out the 2025 Vancouver International Jazz Festival at Ocean Artworks on July 1st. So please welcome Stephen Ju.
Hi there.
How are you doing? Where do I find you? Where are you right now?
So I live in Kelowna now.
Nice.
So that's where I am. But I'm coming down to Vancouver for shows just about all the time, especially during the summer. So yeah, I'm in Kelowna.
I want to ask you about a bunch of shows that are coming up at the end of July here, and then one in August, and we'll get there eventually. But I think of all the different times that I want to take you, I just want to start with the most recent one, which was there on Canada Day down in the evening at Ocean Artworks, and you had the full band experience. And I'll ask you how it went too, but I guess the first thing I'm curious about, I mean, it's such a large group of people, it's such a fun group of people. What is a show day like for the Cowboy Bebop Bebop Band? Like, what did July 1st look like for you?
You know what? It was surprisingly pretty calm. Everybody knew about the load-in time, a couple of weeks before, so they knew to prepare and be there on time and just come, prepared for the show, and it just happened. And there wasn't a lot of wrangling, and there wasn't a lot of where's this guy and what's going on, and does he know what he's doing. So it turned out really well, and people were just there and ready to play, and the show went really well.
Do you feel like you know all the charts super duper well, or was there still some stuff that you were breaking in as of this gig? Because the band plays fairly often. The
band plays pretty often. I'd say like once every month or so, show-wise. Maybe a little less frequent these days, but I'd say something like that. But for me personally, because I kind of made all the arrangements, I've ran through all the all the charts, like a lot of times in my head. So I kind of know everything by heart, and I think a lot of my my bandmates also know all the stuff. Either because they're just huge Cowboy Bebop fans and they know the soundtrack, or they just we've just rehearsed it enough that they can just play without thinking too much of it. But also it's the fact that like the way I arrange, I don't try to overly do things. So what I tell my band members is that treat my arrangements like suggestions, and if you don't like it, then you can play something else, and we'll just go from that. So it's like a guideline rather than like okay, you have to follow this and you have to do this there. I trust your judgment because I've played with you and I've heard you, and just do your thing and we'll all be good.
I love that. Yeah, you're the leader, you're the drummer, you're the primary arranger. When you sat down on the drum set and you looked out at a full house there at Ocean Artworks, and you had your whole band kind of around you, and you were getting ready to play the first tune, you're getting ready to play Tank. What did that feel like on July 1st for you?
That was really exciting. This is a show that I've wanted to play for probably over a decade, just because. So I may have mentioned it during the show, but my family moved here to Canada in 2009, and we first moved to Richmond, and then we moved to Vancouver. But we've always had this family friend who lives in West Vancouver, so to get there we had to go through downtown, and and go, on the Lionsgate Bridge and over to West Van. So passing through downtown, we would always pass by the art gallery during the summer, and that's where the TD stage, the big downtown stage, is, with the big green, TD letters. And I was like, at first I didn't know what that was, but then a couple of years later, I realized that's the Vancouver Jazz Festival, and that was around the time where I kind of got into jazz drumming around, grade 7, grade 8. So, I've always wanted to play that show. I always wanted to play at Jazz Fest. So, so getting to play it at last, which was really cool. So
okay, yeah. I got a couple questions for you as a young drummer then coming up. And like you said, like kind of 2009, 2010, early 2010s, you were like about to enter your high school years or something here. Is that kind of the right time period when you're landing in Vancouver?
So I came to Vancouver, came to Canada in grade 3. So okay. I would have been, yeah. But around high school was, I don't even know what year that was. Must have been 2013-ish.
Few years after. Yeah, okay. So at this time, when you become aware of the Jazz Fest stage and you're a young jazz drummer, like, are you already cognizant that you can mix things like anime OSTs or video game music into jazz or not?
No idea. I had no idea. I had no idea whatsoever. It wasn't until watching Piotr's show at Tyrant with his game lobby that I kind of got the idea in my brain that, oh my god, I can do this, and this is an idea that I can do. So he kind of got me started on this.
So am I right that you met him because you were part of a UBC jazz community?
Yes, yeah. It's the UBC Jazz Club. It's a student-run club in the UBC, and they host weekly jams. I think it's slightly different in the summer, but they host jams pretty regularly there. And it's a bunch of wonderful people, and they do a lot to feed into the Vancouver jazz scene, because we've had numerous people come out of there who are now like regular musicians, like Jeff Chen and Piotr Cow and Rick Sun, who's now at Berkeley for music, and I think he's going to be back for the summer too, which is really exciting.
I'm so happy you brought this up, because I think this is a big deal and it's a recent thing, and people are waking up to it in no small part because of your band and the other bands you mentioned. Like, you play in Chen Baker, you have often. You've played at many different venues, especially for Infidels with Chen Baker. But These people you just named, like Jeff Chen and Piotr, you already said, and these folks, I think of Neal Wang. Yeah. I think of these other people. Like, these are your UBC classmates from when you attended UBC?
Yeah, exactly. They are. And Piotr Cow was one of the original, I think, members, maybe like the earlier members of the jazz club, and I believe he started first playing saxophone, and when there was a need for basses, he started on bass, and now he's a huge bassist in the jazz scene, and I'm pretty sure Jeff studied math at UBC, which is really cool. And sorry about that noise. That's my frog tank.
I can't hear it.
That's okay. Okay. So Jeff studied math at UBC, and Neal, I'm pretty sure, also studied at UBC. I know Piotr studied at BCIT. He never actually went to UBC, but he was part of the jazz club, and
Do you guys know that you are the top of the wave of the UBC Jazz Club, and that you've introduced this as like a player in the scene? Because let me tell you, I'm a few years older than you, and when I went to Cap for my brief time, I knew that there was such a thing as the UBC Jazz Club, and I'm the same age as Julian Jaime, and he was like one of my best musical friends through those kind of young years, and he and I would bus out to UBC and go to the UBC Jazz Club in 2013. Wow. But it was not a big thing at this time. You guys weren't there. It wasn't something that we imagined would ever take foot in the jazz scene in a broader sense. What we saw there, it was just a couple of people jamming. But because of you and Rick and Piotr and all these people and people who don't go to UBC, like you were saying, Fyodor didn't actually go. Like other, even maybe some CapU people who cross over and get involved with you.
Yeah.
That you have made it so like that the UBC is now a big contributor to the scene, and it's because of you guys.
It's really cool to come to see that, because when I first started at UBC, I wasn't able to, attend the jams at the jazz club because of other things. I think I was actually in a VSO combo or something, and it clashed. But I think my second year I started just, going to the jams and getting to know the people. And then I think on my third year or something, they invited me to join their exec team. And that's when I started getting like kind of involved and, actively trying to get people to come and, come jam. And, I like during the jams, I was always one of the people who, goaded people into going on stage and play. Like what is there to lose kind of thing. And, as the years went on and, as I progressed in my university, career, I guess, we just saw more and more people come. And I think by the time I left, our jams were, each jam, we were probably drawing close to 100-ish people, maybe a bit less, maybe like more like 67 people, but it was a lot of people, which is, and a lot of them were just listeners. They were just like weekly regular people who went and listened to jazz. And then we were able to, eventually convert some of those listeners into actual players, which was really interesting. And that was really encouraging as well. And I got to see a lot of beginner players just improve and get better. And now some of them are just playing in the scene as well. So it's been a really cool experience being part of that.
So for context, when I used to go there over 10 years ago with Julian, maybe there were 10 people.
Yeah, I've heard stories of the early days when it was called the UBC Jazz Club and Cafe or something, Jazz and Cafe Club, where they had the idea of like, jazz and coffee and doing something like that, where, they were missing drummers for jams and stuff, like, they had to beg people to come. So it's, yeah, I'm really lucky to have been, part of this timeline where we were able to actually introduce jazz to a lot of people who maybe haven't played it or heard it before.
So what did you study at UBC? Were you in a music program?
I did a music minor, which was mostly composition stuff. So I got to study with, Stephen Chapman and also Jocelyn Morlock, who very unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my minor. My major was in political science, which I haven't actually finished yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
I haven't finished an undergraduate degree either, so
nice.
We still have that in common for the time being.
Yeah. I just ended up getting burnt out, and we had the opportunity to move up here to Kelowna, so we took it. Here we are.
So what brought you to Kelowna in brief, if it feels related or you want to mention?
So basically my partner, my partner got a job as a summer student intern, basically working at the 911 dispatch center up in Kelowna for the Southeast District, which is basically Okanagan and that way. So we took it and we moved up here, and now my partner's working full-time for them, and I'm also here. I'm also working in the police environment, which is where I eventually want to end up.
Gotcha. Yeah, it feels like Kelowna down here right now. It's gonna be 30 degrees today.
Oh man,
on the day
really?
We're recording this. Is it hot over there?
Oh,
or
it's
no?
hot. I can check. Let's see. It's 24 now. It'll get up to 32 today.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I have fond memories of bumming around Kelowna in the summertime when I was just coming out of high school too. There's, to live there would be a big change for me, but I appreciate a visit.
Yeah,
once in a while.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think I really just enjoy the quietness of this place compared to like Metro Vancouver. I tried, I drive down for my shows in Vancouver, so like every time I go down, I would always be surprised at the drivers of Metro Vancouver compared to people up here who actually like make sense.
Yeah, there's always a comparison.
Yeah,
made
yeah.
there.
But
So
no,
the
it's
first.
sorry, what's
Yeah, go ahead.
no? I was just gonna say it's nice in Kelowna, but not a lot of jazz going on. So I'm pretty satisfied by my with my whatever I do in Vancouver jazz wise.
The only regular place and scene there's two actually that I can think of over the recent years is there has sometimes been a little music series and maybe even a jam at the Marmalade Cat Cafe, and there's the Rotary Center for the Arts in downtown. Okay. Those are the only two places that I can think of when I think of places where jazz people congregate in Kelowna itself.
Yeah, and the Rotary Jam is still on, but the Marmalade Cat Cafe Jam has died. I think something about them running out of money, out of grants and stuff. But some other guy, his name is Trevor. He's opening up a monthly jam here in Kelowna. I think it's every second Friday at the Naked Cafe, and then there's another jam series that just started on the west side at a brewery, I believe. So it's like if you look for it, there's stuff to do.
Yeah. There must be, yeah. You have to look, is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first Cowboy Bebop Bebop Band show that I have kind of on my radar from the gig list is March 30th, 2024. You brought the band to Tyrant. Is that the first show? What can you tell me about like when the band started, how it came together, like road to whatever that first show was?
Yeah, that was the first show, and I wanted to do a show at Tyrant for a long time, and I didn't really know. I originally wanted to just do like my originals and play standards, but after I saw Piotr's show, and then I also I subbed in for a rehearsal for Isabel's Ghibli Jazz Orchestra sometime during that time, and so it just kind of a little seed kind of just sprouted where, I can do something along those lines. And then I thought of, animes I really liked and stuff like that. And I just settled on Cowboy Bebop because that soundtrack is just amazing and it's timeless. So I had that idea and I started asking a couple of people, are you interested in playing for this idea? And surprisingly, all of them said yes, which I didn't expect that. I thought, maybe they wouldn't be into this or something, but they were, and they were really interested. And then I went to Dan, and Dan's super down with the idea. He has seen me play before, so I think he knows that, I can be musical. So yeah, we got the band together. I made a few arrangements, and I think we rehearsed it at the Space Studios, and yeah, it just we may also have recorded a few demos, or I don't actually remember, but yeah, it just ended up really well, and I don't think I even ended up sending those demos to Dan because he had some faith, and it worked out. We sold out the first show. I think the lineup was like down the street, which was really surprising to me. I didn't think people would, be that interested, but they were, and it was a good show.
So you came up with the theme to have a theme for this particular show that you had the opportunity to do at Tyrant. That's where you locked in, like, okay, I'm doing Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. That's where I did, and yeah. That was that. When
I hear that, I feel like we have to give more props to Piotr because it's such a follow on from what he was doing with the Game Lobby series, which you already referenced, which
Absolutely.
also took place there at Tyrant and proved that people would come out there for stuff like that.
Yeah. It was basically, I didn't know it at the time, but it was the proof of concept that I needed to do Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, that's so cool. And that's another kind of UBC affiliate thing, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And then not long after that, you go and you sell out Heroes, the nighttime Heroes Welcome Infidels Jazz. And this was the first time I heard the band. This is on May 23rd of the same year, so over a year ago now. But less than 2 months after you introduced the band at Tyrant, you had this show already in the works, and you had Daniel Dirksen get up and sing a song at that show, which I remember. Did he do that at his own house in Tyrant, or was that his first time doing it?
I think he may have. I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay, yeah.
I just thought it would be a really cool. I've heard Daniel's band play, and I also recorded his band because I did a little like mobile recording rig around Vancouver. So I recorded his band play, and I knew that his voice is a really good fit for some of the songs from Cowboy Bebop. So I wanted him to sing for it. And him and Michelle they both sang for that first show, and it ended up, being really cool because Dan's stage presence is crazy good. Like
he's an actor.
It's amazing. He gets people going like nobody else I've seen. So
yeah, he brings that theatrical experience to his performance. 100%.
He really does. He does, yeah. And that was really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it because, it makes sense that he would do it at Tyrant at his place too. But then that you brought him out to Heroes and you kept it going. And then, of course, he was there on July 1st and did multiple songs with you. Yeah, it's a great addition.
Yeah, yeah. So, because originally Cowboy Bebop was just going to be an instrumental, focused band. There's 7 of us, and it was going to be with, guest singers. But, after our last 2 shows, which was first at the Fox Cabaret and then at the Rickshaw Theater, I just thought they should be part of the band. Like, they sing enough songs, and we're all really good friends, and they're just awesome people that I want part of this project as opposed to just being guests. So now we're a 10-piece band. And
yeah, totally.
It's just grown.
Yeah, a couple things there. So you said the 7 of us. I think I know. I got all those people's names handy. So that would be RJ Avella, Gordy Li, and Afu horn section.
Yeah.
Martin Yasinski on guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, I guess, or Rick sometimes when he has been around. But as of July 1st, Justin Wan on keys, and then Piotr on bass, and then you on drums. That's the 7.
That's the 7. Yeah. Originally,
and then 3
we had
singers.
Sorry?
Yeah, and then 3 singers. Yeah.
Yes, and 3 singers. So the singers are Michelle, Dan, and Denis, who is also a UBC Jazz Club person.
Nice.
It's all connected. But yeah, we originally had Nikolai on trumpet, and we also had Patrick Cow on guitar. But I think Patrick had to go to New York for school, so now we have Martin on guitar, which is really cool. And we've replaced Nikolai with RJ, and that's been really good too.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about the UBC thing, this is what I was telling my friends in the set break as we were watching your show. They were hearing the band for the first time, and I was like, well, this band is half Cap and half UBC. Because the UBC half is and we've been talking about them, it's you and Danny Olivares and Martin and Piotr, right? And that's the UBC half. And then we got the Cap half, and we got Michelle, we got Gordy, we got Afu, right? And we got Justin. And then there's Dan, and I think that pretty much RJ, if I didn't mention him, would also be on the Cap side. But yeah, it's like half and half, and they were like, oh, my friends were like, oh wow, yeah, so many people from UBC again to this thing of you guys have arrived.
That's really funny because I never thought of it like that. I never thought of it as Jazz and Cap and UBC, because I feel like I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them at the UBC jams. And also, which is really, really funny. And yeah, it's really funny.
Because I know that Gordy and Martin too are good friends, and they're kind of like a bridge builders between the CapU people and getting them out to spend time with you guys too. I know they've probably been a big, and all of them really, but I think of those two specifically as people who have brought the two together. Yeah,
I think so. And it really helped to have Justin there as well, because he's good friends with RJ and Michelle, and from the Cap side, which was really it all ties together really well, and yeah.
And then you had Jeff Chen guest on guitar. He obliterated a solo.
Oh man, that was
so
good.
There you got another UBC guy.
yeah. I just thought of this being such a big show for me personally, I just wanted to bring people on who are important to my journey. So I had Jeff on, and he killed it. It was so good.
Yeah. And then I also think of like Michelle Escudero's own band Kaleidoscope, which like Justin plays in, and maybe some of these other people play in too. So yeah, there's all these links.
Yeah, it's it's all connected. It's yeah.
Yeah, I want to bring you back to a couple more shows that you've already done, and then look ahead. But you already mentioned two of them. You mentioned the Fox Cabaret and the Rickshaw Theater. Now those are big shows, so we could spend a moment on each of them. This is the Fox. I think you sold out another Infidels show at the Fox, or at the very least you had a big turnout, because I remember seeing all the photos that you guys took from the stage, and like you're very good at like getting videos from your fans who are out there. This is on December 7th, 2024. You were billed at the Fox with the Cowboy Bebop Bebop Band for Infidels Jazz. I was not there. How was that?
I think that was one of the big highlight shows of my life, including, in addition to Jazz Fest and stuff like that, because first of all, we packed the place, and the people were really into it. But also, I had done, like I did with the Vancouver International Film Festival, we had a little video background where I cut together all the episodes of Cowboy Bebop, and we just projected it on the background of the stage, and that brought the entire vibe to a different level, where we were just totally immersed in Cowboy Bebop for like the duration of the show, and yeah, the crowd loved it. We had a really, really good time, and yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about the VIF one too, because you played one of those Infidels VIF shows, and you played opposite the movie.
Yes.
So they showed the movie afterwards, but then you mentioned like, oh, you got this kind of VIF vibe because you put together some footage from the show that you ran behind your Fox show.
Mm-hmm. I did, yeah. Oh, that movie showing was so good. I think that might have been my first time watching the movie.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's really good. It's like a big episode, but it's better. It's yeah. And yeah, that was a really cool experience.
Yeah. The other show that I have kind of on my timeline that's already happened, you mentioned it being at the Rickshaw, and this was a huge show with Isabel Leong's Ghibli Jazz Orchestra, who you already mentioned you got to sit in the drum chair at least once for, and then the band Missing No, which is kind of more my generation, but they're still out there kind of riding the wave with you guys right now, where there's a lot of these kind of video game and anime related shows happening right now. Missing No, Ghibli Jazz Orchestra, and you play this triple bill at the Rickshaw on March 7th of this year.
Yeah, that was a big show, and getting to play it was pretty cool because, as you said, it's almost an intergenerational kind of thing, where Missing No kind of, like, unknown to me, paved the way for, music like my band and Isabel's band to be able to take place in the city, and it was so cool to have gotten to watch them play live, because they're really, really good. They're amazing, and then to see Isabel's band just take Ghibli's music to that, to that level of the big band, and they were so polished and everything. They sounded amazing, and to getting to play on the same stage as them, which was a really cool experience, because yeah, it was just so much fun.
Yeah, I will give a shout out to some of the members of Missing No too. I recently went to a show at Tyrant, and it was led by this guy, Luis Melgar, who is involved with Missing No. He's a trombonist and keyboardist and singer. I don't know if you have crossed paths with him too much.
I think I have. I think I've met him, at least at the show.
Very talented guy.
Yeah.
And he led his own band named Melgar, and it was a 10-piece band with multiple vocalists, and they just played like pop and R&B songs at Tyrant on this Saturday. As of when we were recording this, I stayed out late and I hung out there, and so So tight, so fun. Yeah, and Missing No is the same way when they play the video game music that they play.
Yeah, they're incredibly tight, and their drummer is so good. Oh my god. I was listening to them, and oh man. And then when they played the JoJo theme, that was really cool, because JoJo is like the other anime in my life where, you know, I've just been like obsessed about it.
Yeah, there's more, you know, like you came up with the theme so spontaneously, it could have easily been something else. And, you know, you could easily imagine somebody else hopping up there at Tyrant when they feel inspired to pick up whatever show or game or something caught their fancy at the time, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's look at the future. The first show that I know you're doing next is not a Cowboy Bebop show, but it's July 17th. You're playing in Gordy Li's band at Tyrant. This is billed as Gordy Li's Smurf Scrolls, and you're playing with Rick, who we've already talked about. And you've got Allison Lee on bass joining you.
That's a really exciting one. I haven't played with Rick in a very long time because he's been gone. I think, it'll be the first time in at least a year. So I'm super excited. And Gordy Smurf, it's always been, I haven't played with the Smurf yet. Last year I was almost going to play with the Smurfs at the Fort Langley Jazz Festival, but Gordy got injured, so that show got canceled. So now we're gonna try again, and hopefully Gordy doesn't get injured again.
Did he break his wrist or break his hand or something?
Yeah, I think he fell off his bike and just was unable to play for a while, which I think was really, really frustrating for him.
Man.
And then Allison. I've only so far played with Allison for like one time, and we were all just jamming at Gordy's place. I think it was like a week or two ago, and she's an amazing bassist. It was a really good time.
Yeah. Do you ever know how much or to what extent do you know what you're gonna play in advance when you do a show with Gordy like this?
No, I don't know much. Which is the exciting part, because I think I know 2 of the tunes we're gonna play, and that's about it. And then the rest, we just figure it out, which is Gordy's style, and I really love it.
That is his style.
I find it really
that's
fun.
Right. So you know some of the tunes you're gonna play, but
I know,
you don't know the overall plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Then we mentioned Neal Wang earlier. He has an After Dark that I see you're joining him for the end of July. Is that right?
Yeah. That one's cool too, because I haven't yet played at Frankie's, which I'm really excited to. Frankie's is also one of those venues where, you know, I've always known about it. Before that was a Cellar, and now I'm getting to play at it, which is really exciting.
That's so funny that you've probably like sold 1,000 tickets for Infidels Jazz, and yet you've still never played a Frankie's After Dark.
Yeah, actually, I haven't thought about that, but you're probably right.
Yeah. And that's a UBC special, because I'm looking at the lineup as I have it on the gig list, and it's Neal, and it's Jeff, and it's Ben Rosso. Another. What does he play? Yeah,
he plays keys, and he's in I believe Ramen Fog, the band who plays around town. And we all went to UBC, and we're all basically part of the jazz club, and here we are.
Perfect. Okay, this is perfect, because I wanted to bring this up too, is that the other thing, since it's not like a jazz program like CapU, is that a lot of these UBC musicians that I'm aware of, when I think about them playing in other kinds of bands too, like maybe they play in rock bands, indie bands, and things like that. And this, I believe this will be announced by the time I publish this, because I have it drafted on the Infidels website, and if not, then I can cut this, but you are playing with the band Chopping Spree.
Yeah.
And I think this is also related at the Pearl. Yes. Double bill with Cowboy Bebop Bebop Band and Chopping Spree on August 10th.
Yes. That's been confirmed, at least to me. And it's that's going to be good, cuz Kyler is also from UBC, and he's been involved with the UBC Jazz Club for past few years. And he actually studies music. He's part of the music program at UBC. He studies saxophone, so he has more academia within music than any of us here. But yeah, his band is amazing. I have yet to actually watch them live, but I've seen enough videos to know that they're going to be a really good time. And yeah, I'm really excited to play with them.
Okay, so this is Kyler Young, who and the band of the band Shopping Spree, and like
Yes.
that you are mutuals, but like you haven't like spent a lot of time with them or heard them as a band necessarily yet, even though you all know each other.
Yeah, like members of my band, especially like I think people like Gordy, they have seen their performances, but being in Kelowna, I just haven't had the opportunity to watch them live, which yeah, I really want to. So now that we're double billing, we get to do that.
Yeah, because you get to be on a bill with a band that is just a band, an original band, not an anime themed show in its entirety, not like the triple bill show that you did earlier, but you get to bring the Cowboy Bebop concept to just an original band. You get to double bill them because you have enough common ground, like in terms of who you know and who would want to come out to hear both of you because you're friends and stuff. It's an interesting pairing.
Yeah, it is. It's a really exciting one, and I think from what I've heard, at least, the musical styles are, at least like in terms of texture and like instrumentation, it's kind of close enough that we can like build off each other and like coexist in a show, which there's some good synergy there, and yeah, in terms of energy and just overall like vibe, I think it's gonna be a good show.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you are in the middle of, or that you feel is coming up for you, or even that you dream is coming up for you that we haven't talked about yet that you wanted to bring up before we wrap here?
You know what? I think I'm still just riding off the high of Jazz Fest right now, and just preparing for upcoming shows. So I'm pretty content right now with where we're at, and I would like to look at grants and stuff. So maybe Cowboy Bebop can go on tour next summer or something like that, and see how that goes. But that's going to take some prep work on my end, and also a lot of vacation leave on my band members, and so we'll get that together and see if we can do that. But that's going to be my next big goal for the band, is to take it somewhere else, maybe to the Okanagan, maybe somewhere else, the island. We'll see. But other than that, I'm pretty content. I'm happy.
So what you're telling me is you think it's time that you get everybody in the stuff together. You think it's time we blow this thing.
That's good. Yes, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Excellent. Okay, this has been a lot of fun to get to know where you're at a little bit, and you've been doing so much. I have enjoyed hearing your band multiple times, and like we covered, I think it's a unifying band in the scene at large, where you are bringing together two schools of people, literally speaking, and you're presenting it in such a fun way. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for taking the time to chat with me.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for coming to my shows. Yeah, I'm just really thankful to be here and be able to play my music. So thank you.
Thank you for tuning into episode 2 of RCTV. Again, like I said, I'm having fun doing this. I hope there's going to be more guests who want to come on and do this format with me. It is a good time, and it lets you get to see, hear, and know them a little bit better along with me as I do. There's no shortage of people I want to talk to. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. You'll get more of all these kinds of things that I do. This is going to be a part of the Rhythm Changes universe where I do different things with video this year, and I want you to be a part of it. Thank you very much. See you soon.